Hey yappers, welcome back to Binge Yap Repeat. Today we discuss The Hunting Wives on Netflix. We yap all about some confusing plot holes from the night of Abby's murder. We educate each other on some of the gun laws in Texas, and we dissect the parts of the show that were straight up unnecessary, like the entire abortion plotline. Did we love to hate the show or hate to love it? Find out right now.
Hello, fellow yappers. I'm Ruchi.
And I'm Shalini, and we're your hosts of Binge Yap Repeat.
We're two best friends who spend an embarrassing amount of time binge watching TV, and honestly, we just need to talk about it. If you're here, we're guessing you do too.
Fair warning, this is a spoiler-friendly zone. We will be discussing lots of spoilers. So, if you haven't watched the show yet, hit pause, go binge, and come back when you're ready to yap with us.
And now, it's yap time.
What's up, yappers?
Shalini, you ever been hunting?
I ain't never been hunting. I ain't ever been no wife.
Then you ain't never been no hunting wife.
So today we'll be talking about Department Q. No. Yes. Today, yappers will be discussing Hunting Wives.
Excuse me, it is The Hunting Wives.
Oh, so I'm so sorry. Okay. Okay, so the premise of The Hunting Wives is Sophie, who is played by Brittany Snow, trades city life for East Texas and falls into a wealthy socialite, Margot, played by Malin Ackerman, a wealthy socialite's magnetic orbit where a clique of housewives hide deadly secrets. The Hunting Wives premiered on Netflix on July 21st, 2025, and is based on a book by May Cobb. So, there are so many things I want to talk about, including differences between the book and the show, the ending, what crazy. But I'll just hand it over to you, Shalini, for your overall thoughts.
All right, my OTs. I thought this show was a perfect shitty summer binge. You know what I mean? It had it all. It had rich people with crazy secret lives. It had murder. It had
Lesbians.
Oh.
It had lesbians.
Yeah, it really had it all. So, it was a very strange premise, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it in the way that I enjoy shitty TV. Like, I enjoyed it so much more than I enjoy higher quality television sometimes, just because it was so bingeable and I was so into it, but not because it was high quality TV, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that does make sense. So was it like a good background show for you then? Is that what it was? Or were you still like in it?
I guess I was in it. I think if we didn't have this podcast, I maybe would have treated it as a background show, but I wanted to come with a good discussion, so I was in it.
Okay.
And I really took my time because usually I feel like the shows we cover, they come out on a Thursday or Friday, and then we have the weekend to watch it. But this show came out last Monday, and so we had a whole week to watch it. And so I think the relaxed cadence of watching also helped me like really absorb the show.
I think for me, it took me a little bit to get into it. So I think while I was watching the show, I was messaging Shalini and I was like, this feels like Lesbians for the male gaze. And then I was like, actually, it feels like Republicans for the Democrat gaze. So weird. It's like a combination of those two. And I was like, why is it like so stereotypical right now? And so I kind of like wasn't really into it, but then I think when all of like the murder stuff started happening and then it was like a who done it, then I was locked in. I was like, "Oh, okay. Now it's getting interesting. Can't wait to see how this plays out."
Nice. Okay, speaking of the murder, when did you start to think that the murdered person was not Sophie?
Oh, actually, I wrote this down. I think it was something like episode 2 or something when Abby started talking to Jill, or like maybe when she
Hmm.
started talking to Pastor P about things. I was like, oh, okay. So Abby's gonna get got.
Mm. Yeah, it was also pretty early on for me. I think, yeah, I was watching. Oh, it must have been during episode 1 though, because I only watched one episode with my sister, and at the end I was like, they've never shown the dead person's face. So do you think it's not Sophie? And then my sister was like, "Oh, maybe it's Abby." And I was like, "Oh." Yeah.
Yeah, I think like while watching the show, I was like, I feel like it's not Sophie, but also I don't know who else is blonde in this show. And then yeah, I probably should have put that together a lot earlier.
I mean,
Because also the way
but
that she was dressed too, right, was like very young, like
yes,
the
it was
victim.
very young. I did clock that. I was like, "Oh, that's not really how Sophie's been dressing." And
Yeah.
so the outfit was very memorable, and so then when I saw Abby in the outfit, I was like, "Oh, so it's her." Yeah, I feel like they should have put her in something like less conspicuous. You know how in White Lotus, like you literally can't tell anything about the dead body? Anything. You just see their heel like floating above the water or something. So it could be anyone. I feel like they should have done something a little more like that where you really couldn't tell, but
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, I think I think they were really banking on the blonde hair, and then they forgot about the outfit maybe. Because there's only like one person who really fits that bill. But she does get killed basically halfway through the show. So it's not
Yeah.
like a like White Lotus, right? The last episode is like, who could it be?
Yeah.
But then in this show it was like, okay, it's Abby. Now let's figure out what the aftermath is.
Very true. Very true.
So speaking of the aftermath, I was a little pissed off at the ending because
Oh,
yeah, because I felt like there was so much lead up and fallout as a result of, oh, who killed Abby Jackson? Like, who's it gonna be? Who's taking the fall? Who's getting set up? Who's getting framed? And then when she just dumps the guy, Kyle, over a cliff, I was like, what? I was like, there better be a season 2.
I know. It was so confusing. Yeah, as the show was finishing, I was like, "Wait, that's it? They're not going to go back to the Abby Jackson murder? Like she's not going to turn her in to the police? What's going to happen?" I wonder if what we were supposed to get from that was that, oh, now Sophie's hiding from the police, so she's never going to turn Margot in or something.
Sophie is hiding from the police. Oh, yes. Okay, yes. I
So
think
now like
so.
they're both just going to get away with it or something.
Yeah, like they both have skeletons in the closet now, and they both have a reason to cover for each other-ish.
Mhm.
I don't know.
Do you think Margot could tell that was Sophie breathing on the phone?
I don't know. I thought that she was going to say her name, but then she
Me too.
didn't, and I was like, what?
Yeah.
The way you pant over this phone is the same way you pant in the bedroom, Sophie.
During our lesbian sex.
Oh my God.
Ah.
Okay, so this is a good segue to, oh, actually, so I did confirm there will be a second season.
Oh, okay.
Yes. But, question mark, who knows what the economic climate will be. So,
Fair.
anyway, so the differences between the book and the series. So, The Hunting Wives is based on a book by May Cobb. There are some minor differences and there are also some major differences. So, minor difference, she's from Cambridge in the series, but in the book, she's from Chicago. I don't know why they made that change.
So arbitrary.
So arbitrary. I want to say that they probably did that to like put some kind of like political spin on it. I
But
don't know.
Chicago's so liberal. Maybe they did that so that they could paint Graham as this like perfect Harvard boy. Because it doesn't hit the same if he's a perfect U Chicago boy, you know?
That's fair. Like maybe highlighting the differences between like Democrat elitism versus like Republican elitism, I guess.
Yeah, maybe.
Could be. Um, okay, and then here are some of the major changes.
Okay.
Um, in the novel, it is Jill who kills Abby because she thought Abby was holding her son Brad back. And it's revealed in the book that Abby was actually pregnant with Brad's son. So that's why Jill kills Abby. 'Cause she's
That's
like,
crazy.
yeah, because she's like, oh, Brad has to get into Baylor.
How does she have access to Sophie's gun?
I don't know if she killed Abby with Sophie's gun. Let me
Interesting.
see. Okay, in the same vein, Jill also this is all from collider.com. Some like random article that talks about the differences between the show and the book.
Nice.
So the other difference is that um Jill also kills Margot in the book
What?
because she finds out about her and Brad having an affair. So the whole story of the book is like this is the mother's protective instinct gone wrong.
What?
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, so Margot dies after Jill finds out that Margot and Brad were sleeping together.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So, yeah, by the end of the novel, Margot is dead, Jill is in jail, Callie and Star are still alive, and there is a 2-month flash forward where uh Sophie is divorced and like out of Texas.
Whoa. That is very different.
Very different.
Why did they kill Star
In the
in
show,
the show?
I have no idea. I was like, poor Star. She's gone through so much, and she really got the short end of the stick in this show.
Yeah, L's on L's, man.
Yeah. And like financially, emotionally, physically.
Dude. No dubs for Star.
Like the Caltech basketball team just L's across the board. Okay, let me see what else is the change. Okay, I think those are like the major changes, but yeah, that's like pretty big change. And so I think what they were trying to do is maybe they were like, oh, if you've read the book, then you know that Jill is the murderer. So we're gonna just change it entirely and make Jill a red herring and then kill Jill off so
Kill
that
Jill,
kill.
Volume 1.
That's what they should have named the show.
Okay, wow, that definitely changes a lot. When did you, I guess, who did you think was the murderer, and did you suspect Margot at all?
Yeah, I did. I think I suspected her, and then it reached a height, and then I was like, oh, maybe she's not, and then it came back down again. But the height of my suspect was when Margot was going around being like, oh, like, but there's no reason to suspect your mom, Brad, unless, and I was like, what are you like? What is that? Like, that's so manipulative. And she did that like twice. So I was like, okay, that's highly suspect, Margot.
Yeah, yeah. I must admit, so I was Googling Abby Jackson because I wanted to see if I had seen the actress in anything else. But then one of the first results was like, why did Margot kill Abby? And I was like, wait! Oh my God, yeah. Rookie mistake, rookie mistake. But then I really second guessed myself and probably ended up thinking about who else could have killed Abby more than I would have if I hadn't read that because I was like, did I read that right? I feel like it could be Pete. I feel like it could be Jill. And then yeah, so I thought about it a lot, but I guess I was definitely tainted by what I had read. I also thought like I didn't even think she needed that abortion plot for a motive. Like I thought the motive was clear that Abby
Yeah, I thought the motive was clear that Abby knew about the knew about the affair, and so she was going to tell Margot's husband or whatever, and Margot was like, "We can't have that," and then killed her. It was interesting that the abortion was like the big reveal.
Okay, yeah, that's a way more reasonable plot line. I also was a little bit confused about the abortion because yeah, I think it was like revealed that she had an abortion, but then what did that materially mean? How did that change the plot?
Yeah, I don't know, because I think okay, order of events was Margot has abortion of Brad's baby. Brad confides in Pete Lightfoot, about the abortion, doesn't say who. Pete assumes it's Abby, goes and berates Abby for doing this. Abby puts two and two together and is like, if Brad was talking about a girlfriend's abortion and it wasn't me, it must be this bitch. And then she goes looking for her in the woods. And then that's when Margot finds her.
But did Abby ever know that? Oh, Abby did know about the abortion because Pastor Pete told her that Brad told him, and she was like,
Yeah,
"What?" And that's how she knew. But then she called Jill beforehand and was like, "Oh, your son's been impregnating your friends."
yeah.
And then I don't know how she goes into the woods and then Margot finds her in the woods.
Yeah, I don't know how Margot finds her. And why Sophie there?
Yeah, and we didn't get an answer to that either, right? We had video camera proof that Sophie and Abby saw each other in the woods, but then we didn't get any resolution to that, right? We don't know how or why. We just know that she was in the woods at that time.
Yeah, and we don't know what they were talking about. If Brad and Jamie knew that they were all out there. I guess that was after Brad and Jamie drove home.
But they didn't drive home, right? They like drove around the lake or something and then went to the party. It was
They did go
unclear.
to the party?
I don't remember.
Okay, okay. But in any case, no explanation for why Margot and Sophie decided to go into the woods and happened upon Abby,
No.
or how Margot thought to bring Sophie's gun to the woods.
Yeah. Also don't know about that. Like, why can't she just take her own gun?
Yeah. Also, how did she even think to bring a gun? Because, like, how did she know Abby was going to be there?
Yeah, maybe this is all things that they've left kind of as a question mark for the second season.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Sure, we'll give it to them.
I guess.
I
Um,
guess.
the other thing, oh yeah, going back to Pastor Pete, red flag from the beginning.
Seriously. I was
The
like, this dude's a creep. I clocked it so fast.
the literal instant that he showed up on the screen, I was like, youth pastor in a beanie playing a guitar in church, red flag.
Yeah, absolutely.
Glad he was part of the body count at the end.
Oh, yeah. I'm glad he died. Also, I liked that he played a role in Abby's story, in people realizing what happened to Abby, even though he wasn't the killer. I
Yeah,
liked that he was still integral to the plot. He wasn't just like a random red herring.
Untamed. Take notes.
Seriously.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I also agree that or I also like that it came back to Casey Crummell in the end, being like, "Oh shit, like it's Casey Crummell. Now she's fine and we found her and everything's good." I was like, "Oh, great." Yeah.
Yeah.
I also forgot about Casey Crummell at first. I was
Oh,
like,
yeah, same.
yeah. Because I was like, wait, Salazar? How? And like, how do I know this person? And then they showed her, and I was like, oh, wow, that must have been like episode one, like a random one-off scene came out of
Yep.
nowhere.
Yep.
But
I kept forgetting about Casey Crummell. Okay, also speaking of Salazar and Casey Crummell, this was one thing I took issue with. Well, I took issue with a lot of things in this show on like gender roles and stuff, but one thing that particularly bugged me was how after she found Casey Crummell in that trailer thing, she like hugged her to her chest and burst into tears. I was like, they would never show a man bursting into tears after solving the case. You know?
Oh.
I
Oh,
just
that's
thought
a
I was
good
like,
point.
why are they making her look so emotional? Like, I don't know. Maybe it's good that they showed someone being emotional about solving a case that has been haunting them, but I was like, I just hate that they made her a woman that was crying after doing her job well, you know?
Yeah, I see what you mean. I think my response to that was I was really happy for Salazar because also she wasn't technically a police officer. She was like, she had basically risked her life trying to solve this case and she came so, so close. And like, as a result, was off the force, still didn't catch the guy. And it's now plaguing her. And there's some teenager that's gone missing, and all of this is riding on her. And she finds Casey Crumble, and she knows that it's Pastor Pete. And so I feel like it's such a big burden that's relieved from her brain that she can finally get on the force again, and she can finally live her life again because she doesn't have this dark cloud um like going after her, I guess. But yeah,
Yeah.
I understand that. I think like there's been so many procedurals that we've seen that are just like, yeah, after they crack this like 15-year-old case, no man is like, oh my God, finally. They're just like, on to the next one, yeah.
Carol.
Cattle. That was a Department Key reference for those of you who haven't seen it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, so okay, question for you. Did you believe Margot? Like, did you like Margot as a character? Because I felt like there are times where I felt like as the audience I should really like Margot, but I just didn't feel that attachment towards her.
Yeah. I don't think I felt attachment towards her at all. It might be just because of what I've seen Malin Ackerman in previously,
What have you
aka
seen her in?
27 Dresses and Billions.
Exactly.
Yes, where in 27 Dresses, she's like the least sympathetic character ever and just bulldozes through her sister's life and takes everything without giving it a second thought. So that might have been a reason why. I also like something, I think her Texas accent, I don't know. Well, Texan yappers, tell me what you think. But I thought her Texan accent was by far the worst one out of everyone. So it just like kept taking me out. And she's supposed to be like the most deep Texan out of all of them. So that also kept taking me out. And so it just like gave this air of like she's posing, which she was, but just like not in the way that I kept thinking about. Um, so yeah, I do think we were supposed to feel something for her, having a harrowing childhood and stuff. But I was just like, I don't know. Yeah, I did not feel sympathetic for her.
Yeah, I felt like a lot of her lines were just very inauthentic to me. I just couldn't believe it. Speaking of Texas accents, why didn't Kyle have one?
The brother?
Yeah,
Did he not?
not really. It
I
was like
thought.
it was like definitely I don't think he really had one, and if he did have one, it was very different from Malin Ackerman's Texan accent.
Oh, interesting. Okay. I don't think I even clocked that. I wonder, yeah,
I feel like he just had a normal accent because I remember being
like a
very
normal
irritated.
American accent.
I think so. Or like maybe barely. Maybe it was Floridian. Maybe that's why I was blind to it. It's like, yeah, I don't know. It just like wasn't
Oh.
Texan to me.
Interesting. Interesting. I thought Margot's husband Jed had a very convincing accent and I was like, "Oh, is this guy actually Southern?" Actually, I'm gonna look it up. Um he always plays Zaddy.
He's just a silver fox.
Yeah. Okay. Dermot Mulroney.
His name is what?
You heard me. Dermot Mulroney.
Dang, that ain't Dermot Mulroney.
Okay, he's from Alexandria, Virginia. So technically the South. Not very deep, but
Yeah, Virginia is the South. There are
all
pockets of
right.
Virginia that are like Virginia, you know what I mean?
Virginia.
Yeah,
Yeah, where's Alexandria?
Virginia.
Alexandria, Virginia. Oh no, it's in DC. It's right on the border of Maryland. Okay. Never mind. I was thinking maybe it was like Western Virginia State, you know, like where Demon Copperhead is set, but no.
Yeah, no. It
Mm,
ain't that.
Not deep. Not that deep.
Um, Malin Ackerman is from Stockholm,
Okay,
so
yeah. I was wondering. Okay, well that explains the lack of Texan accent, but I was wondering why above her the A in her name there was like that circle thing in the credits. That explains it. She does look very Scandinavian.
yeah, I also felt like she looked very brown or dark. I don't know. I felt like the tanning was not right, or like her hair color was not right. I don't know. Something about the tone was not toning.
Yeah, her hair color looked really weird. I also think that was a wig.
Yeah, I think it was too. I'm trying to look up the actor who plays Kyle, Margot's brother,
Yeah, I don't remember what their last name was.
Michael Aaron Milligan. And he is from Texas. Wow.
You know what, Ruchi? It was such a natural accent you didn't even notice it because it was so normal.
Honestly, that is probably what happened. It's probably all the people not from Texas like overdid this southern accent. And then Kyle or Michael Aaron Milligan is like, I'm from Texas. My accent is a Texas accent, and just did his plain old normal accent. And that's why I was like, what?
Yes.
Okay. Anyway, okay, question for you. Who do you think is the true victim out of everything that happened
You mean besides Abby?
besides Abby? Like, who do you think else across the board?
Besides Star?
You can say Star.
Yeah, I would probably say Star. I mean, she didn't do anything wrong. And just, yeah, like we said, L's on L's, man. She lost her daughter, lost her life, lost money. Like yeah, just very sad story.
Yeah. I think Sophie's son,
Jack?
Jack.
Yeah.
L's across the board for Jack.
Oh my God, for sure. Yeah. That poor kid. I was thinking about this. I was like, I wonder if when he grows up, he'll look back on this period of his life and be like, what the fuck was going on? Like, first, mom was out of the house, then dad was out of the house. And like, yeah, what?
Yeah. And then who knows how this is all going to end. I don't know if it's going to end in the book, but in the book they get divorced. So
Mm.
like how is
Honestly,
this
makes
gonna
sense.
end? I think they probably will get divorced in a very public divorce. Oh my gosh, it's gonna be crazy. Poor Jack. He's like, all I want to do is have pizza for dinner, you guys.
You guys.
And then speaking of Jack, there are so many scenes in like the first couple episodes where Sophie is just hanging out with Margot, and she's like, "Oh, I like what's his name? Graham. Graham's gonna pick me up at 7, or like Graham's gonna pick me up here, and or I can't stay." And then she ends up staying until like 4 a.m. or something crazy, right? Why doesn't Graham just come and pick her up
And like
and
get
take
her.
her, yeah, and take her back?
Yeah,
He's like,
I
just
don't
call an
know.
Uber. I'm like, that is your wife, dude.
How do you even know she's okay? Yeah.
Yeah. And he's like, I'm not gonna stay up, take an Uber. I was like, she's not your roommate. She's the mother of your child who has a drinking problem.
Yes. Okay, this is one thing I hated about Graham. There were several things I didn't like. I also sympathized with him when Sophie started being terrible, but One thing I didn't like was that he encouraged her to be friends with all of these women that clearly drink all the time and expected her to maintain her sobriety. That's so unfair. So
So
unfair.
toxic.
Yeah.
So toxic. At least like be there with her and pack a fun drink for her. Here's the Trader Joe's pink lemonade juice that you can bring to your outings, and it'll be so fun for you to share what a good juice it is. Like,
Yes,
do
like,
that.
here's some canned mocktails.
Yeah.
Also, like, obviously, it's not fair for him to be 100% sober just because she is going to be 100% sober. But, like, he also didn't have to be drinking every time they go out, like, to someone's house and stuff.
Yeah. Well, yeah, she was drinking too, so.
Oh, yep.
Oh yeah, there were so many times where people would grab Sophie's thigh, and I'm like, stop grabbing her thigh. It's like it was Margot, then it was Graham, then it was Jed. I was like, leave this poor woman's thighs alone.
Grippable thighs. What can I say?
Oh man. Okay. I had a couple different questions as well. Don't you still need a license to buy a gun in Texas, or can you literally just like go to Walmart and buy a gun if you're above the age of 2018? I don't know.
I think you need a license. Does she not have a license?
I didn't think so because she was like, "Oh, I never had a gun before," and then they just like bought a gun, and then she had a gun and it was registered in her name, so there had to have been some checks and balances.
Yeah. Oh, you mean a gun
Oh,
license?
I meant a gun license, yeah.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe she registered for a gun license there as well? I don't know. Do you get your guns and your gun license at the same establishment at the same time?
Can you just go into a 7-Eleven and buy a gun? Oh, wow. Okay. So in Texas, a license to carry is no longer required for most people to carry a handgun openly or concealed in public places. However, there are still restrictions on where handguns can be carried, and even with an LTC, and some individuals may not be eligible for an LTC. So, to be eligible, you must be at least 21 years old, meet specific federal and state requirements for firearm purchase, and not have certain criminal convictions or restrictions. But if Sophie had like a
A felony.
background, yeah,
Yeah.
felony, then all I'm saying is I just went to the DMV today to legally register myself, and it was difficult. I'm not even trying to do anything. I'm just trying to vote, maybe.
Vote and drive.
Yeah.
Okay. I wonder if, like, obviously that is the law, but I feel like there's a chance there are a lot of just stores that don't follow the law and just will sell you a gun if you want a gun. But then the gun was registered, so there's some sort of regulation.
Yeah, there's some regulation. Also, that gun place was not someone like opening their coat and giving you a gun, right? It was a nice place with
That's
glass
true.
cases and everything. So I would expect that of all places, that place would be like, hey, we're gonna run a background check before we give you this gun and register it in your name.
That is true. That is true. Okay, also, maybe we can look this up too. I thought there was some sort of rule that's like you can't get the gun you buy for at least 2 or 3 days or something. Something about waiting and calming down so
Yeah.
that people don't buy guns and go
Yeah.
on a shooting frenzy.
I think that is true. Yeah. I don't know if Texas has that, but I have
Oh,
heard
okay.
that. Oh, yeah, there's no state mandated period when purchasing a handgun or law gun in
In
Texas.
Texas. I see. Wow. Yeah, this is definitely Republicans through the Democrat gaze. They're like, let's hit on all of these things.
Yeah, it was like the immigration, the racism, the guns, just the hunting. Oh my God, it was too much.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was like so much that I was like, those
heckin' Democrats over there. I started talking like that.
Those personas malas. Down across the border.
That was pretty good.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Did you catch that in the beginning? They were talking about Laura Bush, and then they're like, "Oh, actually, did you know that Laura Bush killed someone?"
Yeah, is that true?
Yeah.
What?
It was
What
actually
happened?
kind of a tragic accident. So she
Oh,
apparently ran a stop sign and ended up getting into an accident and killing the driver, and the driver was like a 17-year-old boy.
how sad.
Yeah, very sad.
Oh,
I don't
when
think
was that?
it was before she became Laura Bush.
Wow.
It was, yeah, she detailed it in her memoir, Spoken from the Heart. She was driving in Midland, Texas, where she ran a stop sign and collided with another car. The driver of the other car was Michael Douglas, who was actually her close friend.
She happened to run into her own friend.
I think so.
Oh my gosh, how sad.
Yeah. And that was 2 days after her 17th birthday. So that was when she was actually Laura Welch.
Mm,
Yeah, it was her classmate.
damn, how tragic.
Well, anyway,
Okay, question about the tampon thing.
Mhm.
So the show basically starts by Sophie walking on Margot. Margot's like, "Do you have a pad?" And Sophie's like, I have a tampon." And then
Only Democrats use tampons.
okay, first of all, I did think it was a random weird Republican thing until the reveal, and so I didn't even question it. So I thought that was very fun writing. Um, Second of all, why would Sophie have a tampon in her purse if she had a full hysterectomy?
Correct. Yeah. Maybe we can give her some grace and say, oh, she probably, like, it's a force of habit that she just has one. It's like, it's just a thing that girls do, Shalini. They just are there for each other and they just carry around tampons regardless of their own personal condition. You know?
Okay. You know what? I must say, my mom, who has also had a full hysterectomy, does carry tampons around just in case me or my sister need one.
Aw. Maybe
Yeah.
Sophie's carrying them around just in case Jack needs one.
Probably.
Yeah.
How did Margot know it was Callie that sent those blackmail photos? She like
Oh,
clocked her saying, "I see you." But I was like, people say that all the time, right? Or did I miss something?
I think yes, but I think she was probably thinking there has to be someone who actually knows me well enough to not like immediately take advantage of the information that they have. And so maybe she was kind of just waiting it out, but she didn't know who actually saw her. And then when in the note, it was like, I see you. And then that's why when Callie was like, oh, I see you, baby. And then she was like, it was you.
Okay. All right.
My question was, whose baby was that? That Star was babysitting?
Oh, okay. It was Nina's, right? Or Nina's mom, maybe? So Nina is Abby's best friend, the brunette with bangs. Sophie was like, "Oh, I thought this was Nina's house." And then at the time I was like, "Who's Nina?" But then when the whole like Pete Lightfoot thing happened, I was like, "Oh, that's Nina." But when Sophie was like, "Oh, I thought this was Nina's house," Star was like, "Oh, I'm babysitting for her mom?" Question mark. So I think it was Nina's baby sister.
Oh, okay. Because I thought there was going to be some crazy plot twist where it turns out that Nina's baby was actually Abby's baby, who's actually Brad's baby.
Oh,
I
that never got aborted.
Yeah, or like Margot actually ended up having a baby and then like gave it to Abby to take care of. Although I don't know how she would have gotten away with being pregnant. I didn't think that one through. But I thought there was a twist coming where that baby was actually Brad's baby.
Oh, oh, I could totally see that. Mm.
But then, yeah, I guess it was just Nina's baby.
Just Nina's mom's baby, hopefully, not Nina's baby.
Yeah, I was confused because Star was like, oh, she's just like Abby. Like, Abby also used to be super colicky when she was a child. And then I was like, oh, so that's Abby's baby? And then I blacked out or something, I guess.
Yeah, I think she was just like remembering what Abby was like as a baby, regardless of whose baby she was currently watching at the time. It wasn't like, oh, this baby takes after Abby.
Yeah, yeah. Did you know that Abby and baby are the same word if you just flip?
Oh,
Just thought I'd share that fun fact.
more interesting trivia you get here exclusively at Binge Yap Repeat.
Okay, I had like like other random thoughts. Did you notice that Jill has a mini Birkin?
I did not notice the Birkin. Where was
She
that?
had a small one when they were all signing the NDAs, and then Jill was like,
Oh, I don't
Oh,
know. I don't know if I want to sign this. Let me pack up my little Birkin.
she had like a small one.
oh, okay. I did not notice that.
Yeah, rich as fuck.
Damn. How these bitches so rich?
Yeah, they didn't really talk about that.
Yeah, like the sheriff and his wife, in what world is that a super rich couple? Also, okay, so I guess the Banks he's an entrepreneur or something, so he made a lot of money. But then yeah, sheriff family, why are they rich? Pastor family, why are they rich?
I think the implication was that they are probably families with super old money.
Mm.
I guess new money from American standards, but still old money. So they are just like these Texas families that have been there forever, and so they just are super rich.
Okay. Generational wealth.
I think so. That's what I'm believing.
Okay.
Otherwise, there's too many holes to poke. Uh, okay, I think why did Callie kill Jill?
I think that really was because she thought Jill was gonna kill Margot.
Mm,
Yeah.
so she was being protective of Margot.
I think so. Yeah. Why? Did you not think that?
I think it was just there are points in the show sometimes where I'm just like everything is escalating for no reason. Like there is no reason for you to be, pew, 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 shooting everyone and everything in sight. Same with when Pastor Pete killed himself. I was like,
Yeah.
why?
Yeah, there was that. Also, when Sophie runs over Kyle, I was like, girl, what?
Yeah.
Why didn't you just drive away? What was he gonna do? Like,
Yeah, agreed. There was no reason to kill him. I think even in the Pastor Pete situation, I feel like, I don't know, I feel like Pastor Pete killing himself means that he acknowledges that he did something irrevocably and irredeemably wrong. And I don't think he would ever think that because he thinks that he's such a good guy and that's why he keeps going after these women and like trying to be their white knight.
that's so true. Like, what would make him turn around from literally kidnapping a girl one day to shooting himself in the head? Yeah, that's so true. That turnaround makes no sense. Or maybe he was like, I would rather be dead than go to jail for this or something. But then he said, I'm sorry. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Like he said he's sorry, he like knows what he did wrong and then just shoots himself and it's just like just don't kidnap women. Like
Yeah.
yeah.
It's
You
very
know,
simple, sir.
it's it's actually really easy to not kidnap women.
Not kidnap girls.
Yes. You can actually even be friends with them. It's crazy.
It's crazy. You could simply just not kidnap them.
The Dems don't want you to know that you can actually just be friends.
I thought I had thought of one more thing that I wanted to. I think it was about Jill. What was it?
The fact that she was trimming the hedges and she chopped off a flower.
I didn't notice that.
chill, girl. What you doing?
I was like, dang, she angry.
Oh my gosh. No, I did not notice that. Okay, well, one thing about her, doesn't she look like maybe from Arrested Development?
Yes, I see that. Way less freckles, though.
Yes, way less freckles. If she had freckles, that would literally be maybe.
Always be my baby.
Yeah. Um, yeah. I don't know what I was gonna say. Just something around how she was like weirdly in love with her son.
Yeah, she was. I was like, I don't know. I think the way that they presented the fact that Margot and Sophie had a relationship was supposed to be, in a way, shocking. Like, oh my gosh, these two married women are having an affair with each other. But then I was like, make Jill kiss Brad.
I dare you. Do it, you coward.
The Dems don't want you to know. You want to
Oh,
be
man.
fucked up? Fuck up.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Also, okay, I thought there was just too much raunchy sex. Like, I don't want to sound like a prude, but so much of it was so unnecessary. And it lasted so long every time. You're just like, yeah, we get it. We get it.
Yeah.
Lesbian sex.
Lesbians for the male gaze. That's what
Truly.
it was. I wish I that's what I was like, okay, if you're going to make Margot actually lesbian and like have make her have an actual relationship with Sophie, I want to know more about that. Like, give me some more backstory about how she actually is, or like maybe thought she was bisexual. Oh, she's actually lesbian, and
Yeah.
that's why she's been having relationships with women outside of her marriage with Jed. Like, I wanted there to be more of a storyline behind that, but then it just turned into like Margot and Sophie kind of having some hot and cold relationship where Margot's like, I'm gonna do this, and then Sophie's like, you betrayed me, and then Margot's like, but I love you, and then Sophie's like, okay, and then Margot's does something else, and Sophie's like, you betrayed me again, I'll never trust you again, and then Margot's like, trust me, babe, and then Sophie's like, okay, it's just that over and over again.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't get enough depth of their relationship to even believe why Sophie would love Margot, because
Yeah.
from the outside, it feels like Margot is extremely toxic. She's pushing drinks on Sophie. She's not respectful of Sophie's boundaries. Why would
Yeah.
you love someone like that, even if you are just physically attracted to them?
Totally. Also, don't you think the whole show would have been exactly the same if no one was a lesbian? Like, they could have just become fast friends, right? And like, it could have been kind of a toxic friendship where she's like kind of allured by her, but like, yeah.
Shalini, the Dems don't want you to know that you can just be friends with women. You don't have to sexualize them and objectify them. It's crazy. Especially attractive women.
Your options are your options are lesbian relationship, kidnapping, killing.
Killing. Yes. Exactly. That's the only thing that you can do with attractive women. Oh my gosh. Oh, and then the other thing that annoyed me is while they were trying to figure out who killed Abby Jackson, someone calls the police, not the sheriff, but one of the other officers, and they were like, hey, it's me, your boy from across the town. I've got an update on the gun that was used in this robbery, and we think it's related to your investigation. And then the guy gets distracted and is like, I'll call you back later. And I'm like, he has critical information on an active case that is like nationwide right now. And you're gonna hang up on him?
Wait, when did that happen? I don't even remember that.
I forget even what he got distracted by, but he was like in his office and he was on the phone with someone. They're like, we've got an update. And it turns out the update was the gun. It was why they arrested Sophie, because the gun used in that robbery was the same gun that killed Abby Jackson, and it was registered to Sophie.
Oh, was this when that lady came up to bald police officer and was like, blah, 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 something about a gun?
Yeah, but they had called earlier too, and
Oh
we
my
had
God.
seen
Okay, so
that
they
scene.
ignored the first call and then it took this lady coming to him in person and being like, blah, 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 gun?
Yeah, it was like an NPC interaction almost, when you're like doing quests and then the NPC is like, "Hey, did you check that cabinet behind the couch? Something weird is over there." And you're like, "Yeah, fuck you, NPC," and you go about and you like break pots and whatever, and then the NPC is like, "I really think you should check behind that cupboard. Something's glistening." It was like that. I was like, stop doing your side quests.
That is so accurate. That's so accurate.
Yeah, and we never saw that lady ever again. She just,
Who was she?
her purpose was fulfilled. She evaporated into the ether.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, man. I wanted to go through the final body count.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Final body
Final
count.
body count. Abby Jackson,
Uh-huh.
Pastor Pete, Star Jackson,
R.I.P.
Jill, Kyle, and Casey Crummell almost, but no.
Almost.
And Salazar almost, but no. So yeah, 5 bodies.
Damn. You know how we were like in Sirens, we were like, no one died. In this show, I'm like, so many people died.
This show and in Untamed, so many people are dying.
Oh, yeah. All over the place. Maybe we can spend a little bit more time on Graham and just like their relationship dynamic. How would you feel? I guess how would you have acted similarly to Graham if you were Sophie's husband? This like super traumatic thing happened while she was drinking and driving. Yeah, how would you deal with that as a spouse?
We were forced to move to Texas.
Yes.
I would absolutely not live in the suburbs where we had to drive everywhere. I would like live in the city where there is some form of public transport somewhere.
Yeah.
I would be like,
That's so fair.
yeah. I'd be
But like, do you think
babe.
you would let her drive or like what? How would you handle that?
I think it's just like, yeah, it's up to her if she wants to drive or not, right? Like, if she's feeling like driving is super traumatic, then like, yeah, don't drive. Like, it's all good. Like,
Yeah.
we got public transport on our left. We got a little Tesla right here. Waymo's coming to Austin. Like, maybe we should move there. Like, many options. But also, if she wants to drive, then like, yeah, of course, drive. How do
Mm,
you feel?
yeah. I don't know. Like, I think it's really complicated because I, well, yeah, I don't think I would force her not to drive, but I don't know how I would feel if my, let's say, husband, like, if he was drunk driving and killed someone, how I would deal with that, like, how I would want to help him set boundaries in his own life. Does that mean telling him that maybe he shouldn't drive for a while? I also don't know how long it had been for Sophie. Um,
I think 2 years is what they
2
said.
years. Okay, that's like quite a lot of time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I just don't know how I would feel, and then how would I feel about my husband potentially like driving our kid around and like just so many questions, and especially when he started questioning if she's still sober or not. That's scary. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think driving the kid, I think, is a big red flag. But I feel like if it's a matter of driving yourself versus like Ubering everywhere, I think that's an exploration like the other person like just has to do by themselves. Because I
Yeah.
feel like the other side of that is Sophie or this hypothetical scenario, whoever your spouse is, probably feels so much guilt and remorse over doing this specific thing that I think, I don't know, I wouldn't want to burden them even more by being like, you can't now that you've done this, you can't do all of these things, and here are
Hmm.
all of the ways in which I don't trust you. I think that's like another issue. Because then if it's like a matter of trust, then that's okay, well, you need to resolve that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not via control.
Definitely. Yeah. Yeah. And then how would you handle it if you were Graham once Sophie was arrested for murder? Or even the first time she's taken down to the station because it was her gun that killed Abby Jackson, and you're like, whoa, like my wife has a gun? It was used in a murder? How do you think you would react to all of that?
I probably wouldn't like use the yellow pages and find the first lawyer that's like, I wouldn't phone it in and like
Hmm.
just give them a random ass lawyer. I would probably try to give them a lawyer that, actually is worth their salt. So I think that was a little bit like, Graham, what the hell are you doing? Do you want her to go to jail? Like, because that's where this
Right.
is going. Um, I think the second thing is I think that would result in a lot of lack of trust.
Yeah.
And in terms of like, okay, you said you weren't going to drive, you're driving. You said you weren't going to drink, you're drinking. You said you hate guns and you were uncomfortable at an NRA affiliated conference or whatever it was, and now you own a gun and it's registered to you and it was used as a murder weapon. Like there is so much going on here. There's like you are leading a double life right now.
Yeah, I was honestly surprised he didn't like pick up and leave
Yeah.
with Jack. Like, yeah, I was very surprised. Obviously, the first half of the show before the murder happens, I was like, this dude sucks. Like, he's always controlling his wife. He always undermines her in front of other people, just, backhanded compliments and stuff. Um, but then when all of this happened, I was like, I'm kind of on Graham's side, to be honest. Like, He's
Really?
yeah, because I feel like he was the only one thinking about their son. Poor Jack. And
Yeah.
Sophie was like caught up in her affair with Margot. She's cheating on him. She's drinking. She's driving. And he's the only one. At that point, I was like, yeah, I'm definitely on Graham's side. He's still an asshole for how he was treating her before. But like, yeah, I was very sympathetic to him once all of the shit started.
Yeah, that's a fair point. I mean, he did stick by her at the end of the day, so and he tried again with the second lawyer, so I understand that. And he probably is trying to have Jack's life as stable as possible and also not malign Jack against Sophie
Hmm.
or himself. So, yeah, I agree. I think he did show up in ways where we didn't expect him to show up, but I also feel like he prioritized his job over Sophie and
Yeah.
Jack a lot of the times.
Yeah, that's probably true. Just like moving them to that city
Yeah, moving them
in
to
the
the
first
city.
place.
Well, even then, I can kind of see how that would happen because he would be like, Sophie, are you comfortable? Like, it's been 2 years, like, past the accident. How about a fresh start, a new start, ain't a start?
What?
Have you seen Arrested Development?
Oh, yes. What?
There's
Oh,
like
a
a
new.
yeah, there's like a license plate that was like a new start, ANUSTART.
Ain't a start.
Every time someone said a new start, I was like, ain't a start.
Lucille? Oh my God, I made a Lucille joke the other day, but no one around me had watched Arrested Development.
That's so rude.
I know.
What were we talking about? Oh yeah, okay, yeah. So like, I can imagine the conversation with Graham and Sophie going like, "Oh yeah, how about a new start? Um, how about an anus tart? And we can go to Texas and put all of this behind us. It's been 2 years. I think we're ready for a change." And then she's like, "Yeah, I think so. I think I'm ready."
Mhm.
And then they go, and it's just terrible. So.
Yeah, wait, sorry. How did this. What was this about?
So I feel like I, in that moment, Graham did prioritize his job, but I can see why he moved the family to Texas. Like, I can see
Oh,
that
got it.
conversation
Okay.
happening from a good place.
Got it. Okay. And then what other instances do you think he prioritized his job over Sophie and Jack?
In a bad way,
Mhm.
just like every other action that he did in the show. So like the NRA convention that was like geared towards Republicans. Because I think what happened, I think like Sophie and Graham are probably liberals, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So like that was prioritizing his job because he was like, oh, my boss is like doing this. Um, the going to the boss's house to like schmooze with them while
Yeah.
he knows that there would be a lot of drinking. Yeah, just like everything else, like forcing her to hang out with Margot in spite of knowing how much they drink,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I agree.
not picking her up from Margot's place.
Yeah, the not picking her up is crazy. Like, why would you wait for her if you want her to be home and you have the power to bring her home? Why wouldn't you just bring her home?
Just do it, man. Yeah, insane.
Ratings?
Ratings? Do you want to go first?
Sure. I would give this a 7.5 out of 10.
So high.
What? I guess I do my ratings based on how much I enjoyed the process of watching the show, you know?
Okay.
And like it was an enjoyable process. Like I was hooked. It was very hooking.
Okay, I was gonna give it a 6. It's not that different. It's still, oh, I feel like we're normally within 0.5, but so that's why 1.5 feels large to me. I think I'm being generous with the 6.
Wow. Should I go 7? But I think I enjoyed it more than other shows I've rated a 7. Like I think 7 down to 6 turns into shows that I'm like ready to end. But this one I was very hooked the whole time.
Yeah. Okay, then I think that's a fair assessment for you. I think yeah, for me I just like wasn't hooked. I think it was just this whole like stereotypical stuff about like how Democrats and Republicans see each other and like how men and women see each other and how like gay and straight people see each other. I'm like so over it. I'm just like, we have spent so much of human civilization talking about our differences, and like we're finally in a place where like, all of this is not that, it's not like crazy anymore, right? It's not crazy to like see gay people.
Yeah.
I think that's why I was just like, oh my God, it just feels so regressive. And also, I think in this political climate, I'm like so over the headlines that are talking about these topics. And I don't know if that's me putting my head in the sand or if it's just me being tired about things, but I'm just like, I'm over it. That being said, I did get more into it when they started talking about like the murder specifics.
Mm-hmm.
It was just the front part.
No, yeah, you're so right. There were a lot of like very archetypal, stereotypical things that like don't need to be enforced in this day and age. You're right. Okay, I think I'll lower to a 7 because it was still not lower though. Because yeah, I do think the show should lose points for doing that. And this very performative lesbian stuff, I really didn't like. Give us a lesbian love story, but don't give us this fake ass straight women who are like getting off on doing each other.
Yeah, and like just suddenly they have a relationship and they love each other because they're physically attracted to each other. Like
Yeah, out of nowhere.
Not even gay relationships, like that doesn't give any relationship a good name. That's just like bad writing.
Yeah. Okay. Down to a 7.
Nice. Let's talk more. I'll get you down to a 6.5. And here's why I think it should be lower.
Oh no. Oh, she's still going. Oh, she's dragging me down.
No, that's it.
Okay.
Great. Wait, a question. Are you gonna watch season 2 when it comes out?
Yeah. I'll for sure watch season 2.
I'll watch it if you make me.
Yappers, if you want Ruchi to watch season 2, let us know.
That should be the poll on the Spotify.
Should Ruchi watch season 2?
Yeah. Make me watch season 2. You won't. If this episode gets 50,000 likes.
Oh, okay.
I will watch Hunting Wives season 2.
Yappers, you gotta pull together.
You won't.
Binge in progress.
Okay. Uh, I finished a book, but I forgot the title.
Oh.
Okay, I have the title.
Okay, do you want to say it?
Yeah, okay, so for Binge in Progress, I recently finished this book that Izzy, podcast host Izzy, uh, got me for Christmas like 2 or 3 years ago. I finally finished it. So the book is called The Cat Who Saved Books. And it's very cute. It was a very like calming, peaceful read, and I was just reading it before bed and I finished it and it was a really nice book.
Oh.
I think if there was like a Miyazaki film adaptation of it, it would be a hit.
Okay. Cute. Okay, sorry. I'm moving some stuff around because I want to show you my binge in progress.
Ooh.
Okay. My binge in progress is this book, Great Big
Oh.
Beautiful Life by Emily Henry. It's her new book. It's in Reese's book club.
Wow, look at the
yeah.
two of us having binge in progress books.
I know. This is so unlike us.
So unlike us.
But yeah, the book's pretty good. I usually like Emily Henry's books, but I'm like a little too jaded for her style of romance books. But this one's really cute and has a interesting like backstory, or it flashes back between different decades, and the previous, like the past, is very interesting.
Oh, is it like past lives kind of thing?
I would say it's kind of like Evelyn Hugo. The love story is about like the main character and this guy who are competing over the rights to write the biography of this woman, and they're both interviewing the woman about her life, and so her life is very interesting.
Is it a gay love story?
No, unlike Evelyn Hugo, it is not a gay love story, at least so
Damn.
far. I'm only this much through it, so
It's like halfway.
yeah, so
Okay.
not gay yet.
There's still a chance.
There's still time.
That reminds me, I think there is one book called Red, White, and Blue that is like a red, white, and blue romance. Oh, Red, White, and Royal Blue is an LGBT romance novel by Casey McQuiston. That apparently had really good reviews and was, I think, translated into some TV series or Amazon Prime or something. Anyway, yep.
All right, cool.
If this post gets 69, if this post gets 2 likes, I'll read Red, White, and Royal Blue.
1, 2, right here.
Let us know if you've read Red, White, and Royal Blue.
Or Great Big Beautiful Life. Or The Cat Who Saved Books.
Oh, yeah. That's so cute.
Yeah.
Thanks for yapping with us.
Okay. All right. Bye.
Thanks for yapping with us. If you loved this episode, have some hot takes we missed, or if you've got a show you're dying for us to binge next, follow us on socials. We're at Binge Yap Repeat.
Until next time, happy binging!